Right, here we go. Morning, everybody. Another Webby Sports Roundup interview. And I did promise you a top world-class referee, but I'm afraid Howard Webb, my uncle, ex-police. Yeah, what did I just say?
Yeah, Howard Webb.
I didn't say Harry Webb, I said Howard Webb.
You said top class.
I said top class, Howard Webb, ex-policeman, my uncle. But I've gone for second best.
Man U 12 man.
Yeah, Man U 12 man. He does my head in already. I'll tell you, I'm going to sack you. We have the main man, Laurie. How are you?
Hello, mate. Hello, Webby. How are you?
Thank you very much for coming on today.
No, thank you for having me on your show.
You're more than welcome. And you've met this gentleman before. My number 2. I've just dropped him to number 3.
I have seen this man before.
Yeah,
yes.
I know you. You've been waiting in the wings. Right.
Just make sure he got his cards in his back pocket.
No cards.
No cards.
Right. Before we start talking about refereeing, lines, etc., what I want to know first and foremost about your football, the football clubs that you follow. Just give us like a bit of background, so when people get interviewed, I don't know where you started, who you follow.
Sorry to interrupt you, but what he's saying is, we know Howard Webb, who runs the Referees Association now, is a Man U fan. Just for mention
he's a top referee.
Who do you support, Laurie? Are you a Man United fan? Do you
No, I'm afraid I don't support any of them big teams. I support my beloved little team, Burnley.
Oh, a bit of Turf Moor, bit of
Turf Moor.
But were you born? Is that your neck of the woods? No.
I've always been down south. Born in London.
Yeah.
But you got to remember when I was young, and that was many moons ago.
Yeah.
Burnley.
You're younger than him.
Yeah.
Sure. Burnley were one of the best teams in Europe. They got through to the quarterfinals of the European Cup. I think they lost 5-4 to Eintracht or something like that.
Frankfurt.
Yeah, something like that. And they won the league, the Division 1. I think they got in the cup final one year. They were a very good team, so I supported them from very young.
Was nothing to do with your dad? Your dad never?
No, Dad.
I thought he was a Luton fan for some reason.
I do.
I
do follow Luton. I mean, I've been involved with Luton over 100 games, I suppose, all levels.
But Luton, obviously, your wife Doreen. Doreen's a Luton fan. Is that where the connection comes from with Doreen or not? Where was she born?
Well, Doreen lived up in Edinburgh, fun enough, so there's no connection there. But Doreen's, dare I say it, a big Liverpool fan.
Oh, dearie me.
But she does love Luton. That's a passion, Luton. But I just carried on supporting Burnley, and they went through some really bad times, and then they went out to the Football League.
If I said to you, name a player, one sticks to my mind. Go on. If I said to you, right, Burnley Football Club, name a player from the past.
Ray Pointer.
Okay, mine was Ralph Coates.
Ralph Coates.
Ralph Coates for the air.
Yeah.
Was he like a number 10? Ralph Coates?
Yeah. Bobby Charlton. Another Bobby Charlton.
Another Bobby. Can you remember that? Was that before your time?
That's before his time.
I went about in the 50s, mate.
There was another one. Tall, good-looking guy played up front as well for Burnley. But Ralph Coates, he was a Bobby Charlton. His hair flicked over like that. Unbelievable.
Willie Morgan played.
Willie Morgan, yeah. Was he? Yeah, Willie Morgan. He played on the wing for you as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
He was a cracking player. So we are going back a few years, aren't we?
Jimmy Adamson.
Jimmy Adamson. Yeah, that rings a bell as well. Yeah.
They were a good side.
They were a very, very good side. They had a good mob as well, I think. Didn't they?
Yeah, I've got to say, Vincent Kompany is. If we can just survive this year, I think with the young players he's brought in,
I tipped you to start this season.
I think Burnley going to have some exciting times, but it's just getting through this year.
Yeah, I think I don't know if I put them third or fourth bottom. I can't remember with Everton in one I did.
Well, they played some very tough teams at the moment. Start of the league.
They're not getting front though, are they? They're not
they did against Tottenham, to be fair.
Yeah, Tottenham home 5-1, 5-2. 5-2, wasn't it? Yeah.
Still scored 2 goals, so it's just defending, isn't it?
Sometimes it's a one-off. We'll just say Newcastle, then they beat obviously Sheffield United, then they beat the Villa in one view.
Well, I was hoping that we would have got at least a point against Man United, and it was only a world goal that really beat us from.
You never looked like scoring though. I watched second half.
No.
Never really played a nice little bit of football, but never really produced anything special up front. And as we say with Simon, that you brought Rodriguez on second half, and he is a championship player, ex-Southampton and whatever. Not really top draw for the Premiership, is he?
I think they missed someone like an Ashley Barnes. who's a nuisance.
Yeah.
If I obviously play football on one thing or another, and I hate playing against people like that with elbows in your face and whatever. And I think Burnley missed someone like him up front at the moment.
Yeah. Right, let's get this started now. Refereeing and linesman. This is why I brought you on, because we want some information bits now. How did you start into the official? Because obviously you've been a referee, linesman for many of a moon. So where did it all kick off from?
Well, I was, believe it or not, I was a player in the younger days.
That was a question. Yeah. So you played first.
I played football.
Yeah. Okay.
I was centre half, right back.
Yeah.
Played one or two good little clubs in local league, non-league.
Yeah.
And then obviously you love the game you play on, and then Terry probably knows this. You get injuries, and as you get older, it takes longer for them injuries to get over. So I had to hang my hat up one day, call it a day, and I then went into.
What sort of age we're talking? Remember roughly?
32.
Oh, 32. Oh, got you. So you played football.
33. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So where was you playing the football then? In where? In London or what?
Well, I played for St Eater's Town.
Where's that? Is
Reserves. That's just outside of Between Bedford and Cambridge.
That's where you live in Bedford.
Bedford,
Yeah. Okay. All right. Gotcha.
And then I played Sunday football and all that sort of
As we all
stuff.
did. Yeah.
So I then packed up, and then I started a reserve team for a village just outside of Bedford, Elstow.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. But then I don't know. I was standing on the sidelines, the game's going on, and you got no input.
Yeah.
And been playing all them times. Anyway, cut a long story short.
And you're...
Somebody at work said, well, why don't you take up refereeing like I've done? He said, you can still get involved in the game. And I thought, yeah, that sounds a good idea. So I took the course, got through, and I just really wanted to get into the middle of my local Premier League.
What's the format of when you say you took your course? So how do you actually become from where you are to becoming a linesman, stroke referee and whatever? What sort of course do you have to do?
Well, they've changed it. They've changed the whole, like football rules. They've changed the whole format of refereeing now.
Yeah. So drive you potty, all these rules get changed all the time. I mean, as fans and people, I still play football, obviously not with referees involved now, but when you're watching it, and then one season you got this rule, the following season it's that rule, it's like, it must be mental being
Yeah.
It is hard. So I don't know what today's format, but my format was in them days. You went on a course for so many weeks.
Okay.
You went on to games, and you watched games.
Did you pay? Did you have to pay? Was it?
Oh, you got paid.
You got to pay to go on the course. Okay.
Yeah, you pay on the course.
Yeah.
And then you take an examination at the end, and then you're then a referee.
Okay. Right. So do you actually take a course to become a referee or linesman, or if you become a
Not a linesman,
then,
it's a referee.
Gotcha. So you become a referee, and if you're a referee, I'm assuming automatically you can do a line as well.
You can do a line, but normally what happens, you start like I did. You
You're
become
on the right show here, Webby. Doing lines. What's all the lines talking about?
Don't you start.
Then
I saw that the other day. I saw that the other
day. Do you know
day.
something? No, listen. Next week I said to Matthew, do your Spanish guy do. So I'm going to get my hair done, got to get my nose, I'm going to get all my hairs out, my ears, my nose, and all there. And it's just, I get itchy.
We're on the Pablo Escobar channel.
Oh, you're going to love it. And that's all it is. They know anyway. Get on with it.
No, basically you become a referee and you start in your local leagues.
Yeah.
Division
So by
4,
being a
Division
referee,
5.
you do line, no problem.
Well, you can, but you don't, because you've got to have a little bit of experience. Because don't forget, when you go onto a line, you're going into a higher league, so there's a lot more pressure and stuff. So after a year or so in as a referee, you then get invited to go on to a league like I'm on the United Counties League, and then you run the line on that, and then.
Because I remember obviously I played high football as well in County Gloucestershire, and I remember sometimes when you played little.
Has he told you he's good at table tennis as well?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, listen, I've been there. I don't tell everybody. Been there, but we used to. If a Sunday or a Saturday afternoon, you'd be the ref, and sometimes you'd have a player from each side to do the line. If
Tell me about it.
Tell me about it. Yeah. We've all been there.
I'll tell you in a minute about that.
Yeah, tell me. We'll have another story on that one. Okay, go on.
But that's and then you get assessed, and then you go through the promotion. I mean, in my day it was 3, 2, 1. If you got to level 1, you could do any game in the country.
Okay.
Football league or anything.
Yeah. All right.
Sorry. You could do Football League or anything. So, I mean, I was lucky. I did eventually get up to level 1.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was good. But now it's changed again. You got 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Gotcha. Yeah. With regards to salary, did you get paid per game, or who paid you when you first started, and what have you? What was the
you get paid. You get paid while you do the game. After the game, the home club pays you.
Gotcha.
Even now, I do the United Counties. The home team pays the 2 linesmen and the referee.
Gotcha, sir. Who picks the referee linesman? Is that through the Association of Referees?
We have a referee secretary in the league, and it's a she. And she based Georgie. She's
oh, bloody hell, running the football, running refs now.
Yeah. It's all right. Someone's got to do it. I'll tell you what, it's not many people want to do that job.
No.
And she then puts referees for a month on every game, and you get notified of you. Like I've been notified today, a reminder that I've got a game on Saturday.
When you go back, yeah. Gotcha. Okay, yeah. Do you love it? Is it still your passion after all these years?
Of course it is. I love it.
But the abuse this is one thing that's.
No, I've got that.
Saturday, especially Saturday. Well, I say Saturday. I mean Sunday. Obviously, it's just pub teams, in my opinion. They're still drunk for the night before. But
that's
Saturday,
dangerous abuse.
Yeah, but Saturday, some of the abuse I've seen when I've played football, we all say abuse the referee.
Yeah.
Swear to the ref and one thing or another, right? But I've been in games where they've spat at the referee, they've punched the referee and all. I mean, have you had any of that yourself, or?
Funny enough, over here someone pushed me to the ground and spat to me. That was a Uruguayan guy, but no, I think I've been fairly lucky. I've always tried to think when I've been doing the game, it's frustration. Even now when I'm watching Burnley, I try not to, but I shout at the referee if we don't get a free kick.
Yeah,
it's just human nature. We all do it.
Yeah.
So if you can referee and think that way, and what I'd like to think is at the end of the game, doesn't matter what's happened, as long as we can all shake hands and leave the field. That to me is job done, and it's done. But yes, it is for a younger lad coming in now. It can be a daunting task when
I think it's horrible, personally. I think you turn up on a Saturday and you're playing against a team. There's a team of.
They're all against you. 11 there.
Yeah.
Both
got
support you.
You got no friends.
Not one friend as you walk
what
out there.
decision you make, you have 11 people on that team having a go.
Yeah.
Calling you all
I mean, on Saturday, there's 2 guys. There's a guy refereeing another linesman. I don't know him. We meet together, and within an hour and 15 minutes, we got to make ourselves a team. We know that we're the only 3 people that are going to be smiling at each other, because we won't be smiled by anybody else.
No, for sure.
It is a lonely existence. It can be.
It's horrible. When I've done it before, where I've been away on holiday and I come back. I was in Caribbean for 2 weeks. Come back in January. It's freezing cold. It's actually where Wimbledon used to. We'll still train Richardson Evans. They've got their training pitch, and we played a team. On the next pitch for Wimbledon train, and it was a sort of team that we never got on with. And I turned up, manager said to me, "Tell, look, you've been away for 2 weeks. Go sub to them." I went, "Great, I don't want to play. It's January. I've been in the Caribbean. Freezing cold. I don't want to play." Anyway, game started, and just as the game started, referee come over. "Excuse me, mate, will you do the line?"
Yeah.
So naturally, I've got the flag. I'm doing the line. So basically, if one of our players is through on goal, I'm keeping my flag down.
Yeah.
Even if he's well offside.
Yeah.
And obviously, I think their manager or one of their players done their line. So when they're through on goal and it's well offside, the flag's still put down.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was doing the line, and one of our players gone through on goal. He was offside. And being honest, I put the flag up. So obviously, all my team going, "Tell, why'd you put the flag up?" When he's offside, but don't worry about that. You know what I mean? So anyway, half time, refs come over to me. And he said to me, "Well done." He said, "I know it was offside." He said, "And most people would let it go." He said, "But fair play to you." I went, "Okay." Anyway, at half time, one of our players, he's got injured, and he said, "Tell, you're on." So bear in mind, this ref's my mate, because obviously in the first half, I'm being honest. Start the second half, played a 1-2. I'm through on goal. Their manager or their players do the line, put the flag up for offside. So naturally, I've picked the ball up, and I went up to the ref and went, "Ref, I'm well onside." He went, straight away, he's not my mate now. He's talking to me as if I've never met him before. He went, "Listen, young man, I'm reffing the game." He said, it's offside. So I went, "You're having a laugh." So I picked the ball up and I threw the ball. Yellow card. I'm thinking, where's this gone wrong? I mean, it's supposed to 2 minutes. Anyway, about 5 minutes later, this lad's gone flying down the wing. I've gone over, I've got him out of tackle that I would normally do, and by the time the head's told me feet to do it, I've took him out, blatant red card, he sent me off. I had no qualms about being sent off. The only positive thing about that was, one of their players picked the ball up and booted at me, and he was on the second yellow, he got sent off, and another lad threw a punch at me, and he got sent off, so I was on the pitch literally for 5 minutes. I took 2 of their players off, so they were a player less for the rest of the game.
See what I have to put up with?
Yeah, well, terrible, absolutely terrible.
But the thing was with the referee was, we're literally in a space of, you know, first half he was my pal, and then the minute obviously I'm on the pitch as a player, it was totally different.
There's no pals.
I checked on Premiership referees, what they get paid.
Yep.
Anything from 38 grand up to 70 grand a year.
Well, they're professional, aren't they?
Yeah.
Before they weren't professional.
But also
they?
they get a good
A
fee,
bonus.
a fee at the weekend.
Yeah, a good bonus as well.
But they have to referee one game. The next day they're either fourth official, VAR.
And the more experience you got, the more money you get. That's what it's all down to experience, isn't it? Any unusual moments that you've had? How many have you? Oh God, is that your list? Oh dear me. Listen, what we want some stories.
Have you got one on there where Satellite Dave took a dive?
No.
Laurie fell for it, and after the game I said to Dave, you dived.
Let's get back on.
He went, yeah, I did.
Unusual moments. Yeah, I was quite thrilled to get a fixture, and I think it was Iran. They came over to warm up for a World Cup. Can't remember which one it was now. They played Man United. They beat Man United, so they were on a high.
Everyone beats Man United, mate. So
they were on a high. So they came to Luton.
Simon, come back.
They played Luton in this friendly, and they expected to overturn Luton, but they didn't. It was 0-0. It was diabolical. It was terrible. And I never forget David Pleat, who was manager at Luton.
Yeah.
He came up to me at half time and he said to me, he said, tell your mate in the middle to give every decision going to Iran. He said, because otherwise we're not going to get out here.
Where was this? What the ground?
Kenilworth. I think it was Kenilworth.
Was that Kenilworth Road itself?
Behind closed doors, like sort of.
Yeah, gotcha.
So I thought that was quite a funny incident. There was another incident. I was doing a game on top of a hill in a village called Cookano. They're quite a good side in the UCL in Northants.
Yeah.
Very well known for wind.
Yeah.
And this particular day, it was that bad that they couldn't get the ball out the penalty area. But to this day, I don't know how, but the team that was playing against the wind took the lead. Ainsbury Rovers. I got them on Saturday.
Yeah.
They took the lead. But then it got so bad I took the teams off. You talk about aggravation, the manager come in, and I could understand him, he was going ballistic, you've got 1-0. So I said, look, we're going to see how we go. And this is like not making it up as you go, but you can't do that now. But what I basically did, I took half time then, and I added the extra minutes on into the second half.
Gotcha.
And we came out and we got through all right, and I was his best pal afterwards because they won. But that was quite a funny one. Then I had to have police protection at Luton against Chelsea. Yeah, that was quite
against Chelsea. Yeah,
bunch of jobs.
Were you refereeing or were you on the line?
No,
then?
I was fourth official. The referee sent off Boyd of Chelsea. He awarded Luton.
Oh, the old Celtic man.
Boyd, B-O-Y-D. Yeah.
He awarded Luton 2 penalties.
Yeah.
And then as we came off, all these coppers were all round us, and all this Chelsea mob were going ballistic. And it was quite frightening, yeah.
Did you not run the line at Chelsea Stamford Bridge?
No, I didn't, no.
No, there was something, I thought somebody said you ran the line.
I heard your comment, but I didn't do that.
No, you heard that. Yeah, no, I thought you did.
Once a month, and again, this doesn't happen now, but once a month I used to get fourth official at a football league game.
Yeah.
It's just at Luton, we're in the top league then. So
Right. Yeah,
I used to go to Cambridge, Norwich, Southend, Luton or Peterborough. So
I remember you told me way back this story about Steve Evans. Remember Steve Evans?
Oh, I know Steve. Yeah, I know Steve.
Where's
and
he
your
now?
last guest,
Yeah.
Mr. Allison.
Mr. Ian Allison.
Ian, yeah.
What a top. Well, he's at Hendon now. His son is the manager of Hendon Football Club, and they invited Ian Allison after he left St Albans by mutual
St.
respect.
Albans,
a few months ago, and then he said to Dad, will you come down and help me down at Hendon? So he does 2 or 3 days a week there. And lovely guy, Ian Allison, lovely. Comes over in June for a couple of weeks, so I interviewed him. Got some great stories. And you did give me, I remember you gave me a story about Ian Allison.
Well, it was Ian Allison and Steve Evans were in the dugout.
Where's he now? Where's Steve Evans now?
Steve Evans is now very successful at Stevenage.
Steve, that's right, Steve's football club.
They come up last season, didn't they? They're doing quite well this season.
Doing well, yeah.
Both characters gave you a terrible afternoon.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed their company. At least I could try and talk to them after the game, definitely before the game. And,
what was the game then?
I was doing. It was Stockfold. It was Stockfold.
Yeah.
Ian Allison was
That's
at
right,
Stockfold.
Stockfold, that's right.
And Steve Evans, I believe, was at Stamford.
Yeah.
And they were playing each other, and I've got to say, I never refereed the game. I just stood in front of the dugouts, refereeing the two of them.
Gotcha. Yeah, I remember. I remember. That was a great story.
No,
yeah.
they were great characters, and they're very good managers. So I think Steve Evans, I mean, he's done it at every level. I don't think many managers have done that.
I think
even at Leeds
and Mansfield. I think he was at Mansfield. I remember Mansfield played Coventry. I went and watched
Crawley's where he's made his name.
Yep.
Crawley,
But he have a reputation at Crawley for something. I can't remember.
He has a reputation everywhere he goes.
I remember the first game I did with him. He was manager of a place called Bourne then, and I finished the game, and he come running up the line after me. And he said, I played under 21 football for Scotland. He said, who are you? I said, I'm your referee, pal. But I got to like Steve. Very hard work, but I've got to take my hat off to him. Great manager, good manager.
So being a referee, what's in your mind? If there's any young kids watching this and I'm finishing football, they want to be a ref or whatever the case, what ingredients do you think they've got to have upstairs?
Well, I think it's handy if they can start early and don't get put off by any terrible bad incidents. I mean, even doing young youth football with the families and people on the touchlines.
Yeah.
You know, I do feel sorry for some of the youngsters, what they go through.
Yeah.
It's all right saying have broad shoulders and that, but if you're 15, 16, it's very hard to say you get broad shoulders. You know, it's just basically sticking in there. If you love it, and the higher you go up, the more taste for the game you get.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we all love our football, don't we?
And the higher you go as referee or running the line, it's you get more out of it.
Yeah, you do. And is there an age limit that you can go to? Is where's a cut-off point? 65, 70, and say, listen.
I think I would have been cut off a long time ago.
Yeah, but
no, there's no age.
No?
In the football league, it's different. Like the Premier, I think if you got into your 40s, I think they expect you to stand down then to make way for younger referees.
There is an age limit in the Premier League now, isn't there? They sort of like it. Like Mike Dean's just finished.
Yeah.
So
when he's on Sky, he's a big Tranmere Rovers, isn't he?
They've talking to Mike Dean.
He's on Sky Sports now, isn't he?
What did you think about the other week when he said that he was in the VAR room and last season Spurs were playing Chelsea and Kukurea, the Chelsea player, got his hair pulled, and he said, I've obviously seen it on the monitor, and I should have referred he said my mate, obviously he just said obviously he's not officially the mate, that's what we call each other, Anthony Taylor to the monitor, and it would have been a red card. He said, but I let it go because obviously he said it's one of them games where both managers have been booked to about 10 yellow cards in the game. He said, I let it go, but in hindsight I should have called him do you think that's wrong? I mean, obviously he got a lot of grief.
Was he talking about it on Sky Sports?
I mean, I read comments and stuff, and do I take a lot into these comments at times? Is it media based, the comments?
A lot of it.
What goes on like this, where they think, oh Christ, I'll let this one go here. He's gonna.
The media run the world like they do in politics.
I don't think they can, Terry. I mean, it's there for everybody. I mean, when I first started, going back when I was supporting football, the referees never got mentioned yet. Their refereeing was probably atrocious, but you didn't have a camera every angle in the game.
That's right.
So they got away with probably a lot of mistakes.
Did you think the VAR? Are you pro VAR or do you think
I've never.
He's never liked it, have you?
I never ever wanted VAR in the football. Anything to help the referee is fantastic.
Yeah.
In my mind, what VAR should be used. I take the instance that Burnley were playing Nottingham Forest the other night, and the Berger, the Burnley player's running down the wing. The ball's come across him like that. His arms are pumping to run. He's beat a Forest defender. The Forest defender or the players have never appealed for anything. The crowd didn't go ballistic. The referee never saw anything wrong, and he gave it. And then all of a sudden, someone in the VAR has said, "Oh, I think you better have a look at this. This doesn't look right." Now, in my mind, what VAR I would like to see it used is if the referee is refereeing, and it is all about angles. If the referee thinks, I'm something wrong about that, I'm not quite right, I didn't see it, and he should get onto his earphone to VAR and say, can you please check that incident? And then if he says, I think you better, because he's looked, he's touched it, better go and have a look at the screen.
How many is in the VAR room? Is it just one person? Because you say the fourth official. So you say the fourth official. So you got the referee.
2 linesmen.
You've got 2 linesmen. That's 3. Then in
fourth
the
official.
The fourth. That's the one on the line. There's one. There's one in the middle, isn't there? So he's the fourth official. And then you've got the VAR.
I think there's 3. I may be wrong, but I think there's 3 in the VAR. And then you've got a senior, what they call it, manager of the VAR.
But how many people does it need to look at a camera?
But Webby, listen, mate. I watched the games the weekend, and we spoke about it a little while ago with Simon. I watched one game the weekend, the Sheffield United Newcastle game, and Claire Balding, and our little mate, Evertonian lad.
But it's not Claire Balding. What's his name?
Claire Balding. We're running through. Blatant penalty, right? And they carried on playing. Obviously, they're appealing. I'm sitting there thinking, any minute now it's going to be, go, look, it's a penalty. They've looked at it, no penalty. He's took him out of the penalty area. You got to think, what are they looking at? What are they looking at?
When does it get to the referee to come and look at the big TV camera? Is it a case of referee's not too sure, linesman's not too sure, the fourth official's not too sure? Do they go up to the VAR room? Then do they turn around and say, right, listen?
But they're looking at every incident in the game.
Then do they turn
even
around,
after it's happened?
Do they turn around and say, right, referee, you better come in and have a look as the final?
They were going to. I've never been involved in VAR or anything like that.
No.
I would imagine they would come through to his earpiece and say, "Oh, by the way, that incident in the penalty area, I think you better go and have a look," because in our mind it's.
And he makes the final decision. Or do they up there?
No, it's got to be. That's why they go to the screen. Because half the time they could say it's a penalty. But he is the man in charge.
He has got to make that final out of all these VAR people.
But back in the day, I mean, obviously, Laurie's still refs and whatever, and I've played football, and something happened on a football pitch. And the ref will let it go. I go, ref, come on, man, he's just took him out there. And then 5 minutes later, one of our players take one of their players, and literally we go, it's levelled itself out. I mean, that's what I call it, levelling it out on the football pitch. I mean, does that still go on now, where you let one go and you think, well, let them have one?
Well, I was going to say, in my early day when I refereed, you could use your discretion.
Yes, that's
you
the word,
use your discretion.
You got to,
if you think that it was this and that, you could let it go. Unfortunately now there is with the cameras, the money involved, your website's criticising this and looking at that. There's no scope now. They've got to do everything by the book.
Could you ever think of an incident before you refereed any particular game? Anybody come up to you to be a bit corrupt and say, do me a favour, get him sent off, make sure he does this, or whatever the case?
No,
never.
No. I mean, I like to think. I mean, I'm coming up to 40 years now. Refereeing.
Long time.
Nearly 38 years in the United Counties League. Very hard league, United Counties League. Very physical. A lot of ex-pros in there, but I've got to say, they're all honest guys.
All honest guys.
And the managers. They're all honest managers. They're all trying to get results like in the Football League.
Biggest game you've ever refereed that you've done in person?
It's got to be our 7-a-side league in Los Cristianos, isn't it?
Los Cristianos with Terry.
He does my end. I've done 2 interviews for you today, Terry, and I'll tell you, there's going to be a third one.
I don't know. There's so many. I've done FA Youth Cup games in the middle. They've been great.
What about support? What about fans? I mean, refereeing in front of a crowd, a big crowd.
Well,
that's the biggest crowd.
That Luton Chelsea game, I think there was 22,000.
No.
Yeah.
And you were fourth man, fourth
official.
Fourth official, were you?
Yeah. So you come down.
So what date was that then? How long ago was that?
That was the year before the Premiership came in.
That'd be 92.
92.
92.
Was that when Leeds? Was it Leeds won the last one by United?
Yeah, Leeds won.
Again, I felt sorry for Luton because they got relegated that year and they missed out on all the money.
Yeah. So 1992.
Yeah, so we come down the tunnel with Dennis Wise and all them people.
Ex-Coventry as well.
It's black.
Yeah.
Who, Dennis Wise?
Ex-Coventry.
Horrible little player.
Yeah.
I would have sent him just for being Dennis Wise.
Yeah, tough little player, wasn't he?
Good. He's good.
Wimbledon boy, wasn't he? Yeah.
I'd love to have played against someone like him.
Yeah.
But you come down the tunnel and it's pitch black, and then you just come out.
Was it a daytime or a nighttime game?
It was a day to 3 o'clock Saturday.
3 o'clock Saturday.
You just come out into all this noise. It's just amazing.
22,000. Yeah.
And then I'm walking, along the touchline with the Chelsea manager and that, and then most of the crowd knew me because of Vauxhall, working at Vauxhall.
What was that then? Ian Porterfield, wasn't it? Was he the manager then? Ian Porterfield.
I think you're right,
Ian
Terry.
Porterfield from Sunderland.
You're right.
I think he was manager.
Was it
then.
Is it Horsfield?
Porterfield.
Yeah, you're dead right.
I think he was the manager then.
Yeah. I remember.
And they're all shouting your name and shut up.
Yeah, for sure.
But that was a good experience.
So that's your biggest game that
I've been involved in.
Yeah. 22. That's a big game, isn't it?
It was the old days when the grounds didn't have all the.
What about you as an individual referee? I mean, local. Because didn't you say to me it was your club recently in the last few months that you had to go back to and referee? What was it?
The what? Sorry.
There was a game you went in referee. Or who was it Wembley?
Oh, I was running the line.
Yeah.
Newport Pagnell Town.
That's the one. Newport Pagnell Town. Yeah.
Yeah, they for a little club like them, they've got to Wembley 2 years on the trot in the F.A.C.T. which is amazing.
Yeah.
And
Coventry might have been in a few years while they were playing.
Terry, do me a favour. I'll get Jason on to you now. Free juice. Smash him in, Jay. Big Wolves fan.
He's Wolves, isn't he?
He's Wolverhampton Wanderers, it for his sins. And you, Jay, big Wolves fan. You're a bad lad.
Talking about referee decisions, just mention about your game.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Yeah.
not guilty.
Not guilty. Yeah. But can I just say, you do look like a referee, doesn't he? Whatever a referee looks like, he looks like a referee, doesn't he?
Is that a good thing or bad?
I do. It's a good thing. He's got the badge, got the FA, absolutely super. So how many more years you reckon you got to go? Is it so? Because you must stay reasonably fit.
I try to, but it gets harder and harder.
You've got to keep up with the game for some of these referees.
Well, you've got to try and keep up with 18-year-olds, and it's very difficult. It's very, very difficult. So a lot of what your knowledge, you like for offsides, you try and be there for the main ones, and then you just try and do your best to keep up.
But don't you think, Laurie, generally with being a ref in the UK, like in England, players generally are just hard and physical, right? There's none of this spitting going on or theatrics and all that, but obviously you're ref over here.
Yeah.
And as you know, you mentioned Uruguay teams, Spanish teams and whatever. The theatrics generally with the foreign players, I think. I don't think with the English players, we very rarely see people.
I think it's creeping. I think it's crept. It's come into the Premier.
Even last night. Obviously, people will see that I went to the CD Tenerife game against Espanyol. Fantastic game, great vlog I did. Really enjoyed it. Anyway, and you watch them go down like a sack of spuds, and you're looking, you're going,
it's embarrassing.
And you're going, he hasn't touched your number one. Number two, the ref says play on. The ball's at the other end, and he goes, I better get up. He gets up and he sprints.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what I should do, referee, I'll get in. When the ball goes out, right, I'm having you. Yellow card.
But Webby,
Gotta be.
When you play football on a Saturday in the UK, very rarely do you get anyone play acting.
No.
Because everyone wants to prove they're harder than the other player.
Yeah.
Local level, local league, non-league is
right.
that's
You bump,
correct.
you smash into someone. You don't want to show that you've been hurt. You want to
No.
get up, even if you've got a bloody broken nose. You want to get up and carry on running around,
Yeah.
even if you're in agony to prove he ain't hurt you. But over here, you see some of the challenges where we used to play in the league over here, and it's like ridiculous.
Yeah. But I'll be honest, that game last night, well, obviously this is Thursday, but the game on Monday night, there was very little on the floor. There was a few, but not. And there was hardly any, I don't know if there's any yellow cards to the truth, more than one if anything.
Which is unusual for Spanish football.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you. I was telling Paul, and yes, it was. But very unusual for Spanish football. If you're losing and this, that, and they start yellow card, the referees do it. But no, I've got to check the stats on that.
Like being at a ref over here, for instance. You walk into the changing room before the game and say, listen, Jose, listen, any of that play acting, making out you injured,
Yeah.
I'm going to just start booking you from the off.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
I mean, surely a ref should go in before and knowing what they're like over
Well,
here.
you never go in the changing rooms.
You can't. You're not allowed to go.
You don't go in the changing
Howard
rooms.
Webb did. He was always in with Fergie beforehand.
Yeah, but don't. I don't know. What? Yeah. All right. So what happens with your? So you turn up in a game.
Yeah.
So give me your start.
Basically, what happens? The other thing you don't think about is that a lot of referees have long journeys on your own.
Yeah.
So it's a long old day on your own. But you get to the ground, you wait for the referee and the other linesman. You then we have a chat, have a cup of tea, and then we go out onto the pitch.
Yeah.
And then we look at the pitch, goal nets and etc.
Yeah.
And then basically we go back into the dressing room. We have the referee does a spiel on what he wants from the game, what he wants from us.
That's just you three.
Yeah, and that's you working as a team. And then we get changed, and then we go out for a warm up.
Okay.
Some laps of the pitch, and
Yeah.
That's where I struggle these days.
Yeah. Go on.
And then basically we then get back in. We get the team sheets.
That's what I was going to say. The team sheet.
We get the team sheets.
So you've still not been in touch with any of their players or their officials?
No. Well, you might see them when you're going for
Who
a
gives you
couple.
the team sheets?
It's the representatives of the two clubs.
And they just come to your.
They come into our dressing
our
room,
dressing
they
room.
give us the team sheets,
Yeah.
and basically make sure there's no colour clashes, the goal kicking,
Yeah.
all that good stuff. And then basically they then ring the bell to get the teams out. And then linesmen go out. You've got to check this. It's an absolute farce. But you've got to check for studs. You've got to check for earrings. You've got to check for
So you saying I
necklaces.
can't wear their metal studs no more?
No, they're gone. They've gone, mate. They've
You don't
gone
wear them
terrible.
no more?
No, they've gone, and the knuckle dusters.
Tell you
terrible.
what, them studs, mate.
Yeah, knuckle dusters. But anyway,
Best
I've
studs,
got.
and now you're even now looking for the tape round the socks. It's got to be the same colour as the socks. So if the guy's got green tape on red socks, he's got to go back in and change them.
Yeah.
You're looking at undergarments, and now the new thing is the white socks. Players, for some reason, like big white ankle socks up.
The Jack Grealish socks, yeah? Them soppy
I
ones.
watch commentary play before they come out at the room, at the dressing room, whatever, and the officials outside, and they do this.
Yeah, that's for the studs.
That is for the stadium one. Yeah.
Make sure there's. But the laugh about that is I've never ever been taught what is a bad stud and what is. I'll be honest, I've never been told what is a good stud. But anyway, so you've got to go all through that with the players, and then you come and line up, and then you go on the pitch, and you have the respect. And,
Gotcha.
And then the game starts.
Did you ever? Was it your ambition to go higher?
No,
Did you want, or was you just happy?
My ambition was just basically to get into the Premier of my local league. That would have done me, but. As I said, I've then gone on to Football League. I've done Women's Premier League. Done
Oh, don't start on women with us too.
I've done FA Cup matches.
You've done the darts. Have you done the top of darts league? Have you been a referee?
I've done that.
We're looking for a referee.
Yeah. So
and then I've done. I've gone on FA Trophy, FA Vars.
So the biggest game that you have refereed
involved
obviously is as not an official. I'm looking as a referee out on the pitch. What's your biggest game that you've gone there and blown the whistle from the kick-off? Do you think there must be one out there?
I can't remember. There's been so many FA Cup matches I've done. The qualifying rounds.
Qualifying round, yeah.
I've done them. FA Vars games in the middle.
Yeah. FA Vars, that was always big.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, the
yeah.
FA Trophy is bigger.
Yeah, FA Trophy,
I haven't done it in the middle, but basically, I mainly did United counties in the middle.
And that's all
half
Bedford.
games.
So what's the sort of the farthest you've actually driven from where you live in Bedford? What sort of distance are we talking?
Near Coventry,
Near Cov, yeah?
Daventry, up that way.
Daventry, yeah. That's a fair few miles, isn't it?
Yeah.
And do they pay you the mileage or what?
In them days, you used to get paid the mileage,
Yeah.
30p a mile or something. But now what's happened, and it's to help the clubs, which all clubs need helping,
Yeah.
they give you now a set figure. So what they do is keep your games as close to
Yeah.
where you are.
Yeah.
You said about the FA Cup qualifiers. Obviously, any team can go in the FA Cup, can't they, for the early rounds? And we played a Saturday team in London, and we played in the Wimbledon district.
Who was that
league.
for, Tel?
It's a local team. We started the team up and we started going through the league, started winning a few leagues, and next thing you know, manager come in one day and said, "Oh, we're in the FA Cup qualifier."
I think you have to be in the league structure, pyramid to be able to go into.
We drew Dulwich Hamlet, but it was Dulwich Hamlet's youth team, and it was like mainly like Wimbledon's.
Dulwich Hamlet.
Yeah.
There was a story about a Coventry player, I think, a few years ago. That rings a bell, Dulwich Hamlet.
They were all like 18, 19.
Yeah,
obviously, like,
Dulwich
we're a
Hamlet,
bit older, we played them. And this is where common sense prevails with referees.
Yeah.
I couldn't get near these players, I couldn't get near them. They were just bang, they were like spraying the ball around.
Yeah.
By the time you're making the challenge, they're already halfway down the pitch. And I took this lad through, he's clean on goal. I've gone over, I thought I'm going to take him out. All throughout the game he's been like
Took the mickey out,
he's been taking the piss throughout the game.
we all do.
And he's through on goal and I've gone over, done a crunching tackle, took him out, and I've hurt my ankle. I'm laying on the pitch and I've actually twisted my ankle. I couldn't even move. I thought I broke it. Your own fault. Ref's leant over, he went, "Can you walk?" I went, "Sorry." He went, "If you can walk," he said, "get off." He said, "If not, I'm going to give you a red." So I said, "Oh yeah, I can walk." He said, "Get off the pitch then, put a sub on." So my manager subbed me on the basis that I didn't get sent off, which I think is good refereeing.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
You'll get that.
Any more? You got any more questions? Anything you want to? Have you gone through all your lists? Anything you want to?
Well, one other than the Chelsea game,
Please
I suppose the next one, I was again on the line, FA Cup qualifying, about third round qualifying.
Yeah.
Buckingham Town against Aldershot.
Aldershot.
That was a good game.
I'll take Toddy. Toddy's bit of an Aldershot fan. Chris Todd.
That's his
That's his local team.
He was,
no, Aldershot.
Oh,
Definitely.
Aldershot. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Aldershot. What league were they in then?
Well, Aldershot were.
He used to be in the fourth division. They went down a few years ago.
Aldershot, I think, was in the Vauxhall. What's that league that was used?
Vauxhall Conference, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Vauxhall
I think they were in the Vauxhall Conference.
They've dropped down another level now.
Yeah,
and Buckingham Town were in the Southern League.
Yeah,
and that was a good game. There was about 5,000. That was frightening.
And
It's only a small ground. I was on the line.
On the line there, yeah.
Right.
And you talk about decisions, and I've got to say there was a load of squaddies there. Breathing down your neck.
Aldershot,
so I've got to say, any 50-50, it was Aldershot.
You've come clean, son. You've come clean at last.
This is about decisions, right? Do you know that I've played in games before where it's a naughty game.
Yeah. You've always played in naughty games.
But you know, like a proper naughty game, it's people kicking the crap out of each other. And at half time, the refs come into our changing room, and he said you don't go in the changing room, but he stuck his head in and said, "Listen, lads, don't ruin it." You know what I mean? I'll just abandon the game. If it carries on like this, I'm not going to waste my time sending you all off. He said, "You know, I mean, I don't give up my Saturday for this."
Don't give your Saturday job up.
And a quiet word in the course second half. It's like you go out and you have a game of football rather than turn it into a tear-up.
Yeah.
I think that's good refereeing.
I tell you, that's a horrible feeling when a game is going away from you and it's getting out of hand. There's no feeling like
Got another
it.
quick question. Most famous footballer, is there one that you've watched or your lines? I've been on the line, or what have you? Luton, Chelsea, probably.
I refereed John Hartson.
Big John Hartson, have you?
I gave him a yellow card.
No.
Yeah.
What game was that?
Well, again, I was lucky because I used to do the Luton I don't know what they call it now, under development, under 23 now.
Oh, yeah.
In them days, it was
fantastic.
like 18-year-old.
Listen, he's a legend. Coventry legend.
Yeah.
Celtic.
Good player.
He's been about, and on top of that,
Arsenal, West Ham.
Yeah. I didn't want to go down to London, but he was everywhere.
Celtic.
And, yeah. I just said
Celtic,
yeah. But he had cancer, didn't he?
Yeah. Thank
He's
God
come
he's
through
right
it.
now, hasn't he?
Absolutely
Glenn
fantastic.
Hoddle.
Have you done? Oh, one of my all-time favourites.
He was manager of Swindon.
Swindon Town. Yes, I know he was.
Yeah.
He done well at Swindon.
He done
didn't
fantastic.
First time,
Great player. So Glenn Hoddle.
And the guy who was manager at Aston Villa, what was his name?
What's the manager?
Oh, I can't think.
John Gregory.
John Gregory.
John Gregory. Met him in London. John Gregory. Oh, well done, that's a good shout.
Yeah.
John Gregory.
He was a character.
Yeah. No, he was. He's a London boy, I think.
Yeah.
Like the ladies, didn't he, that one?
Yes, he did. John Gregory.
But he was a character.
That's a great one. Listen, that's been a good.
Well, I'll ask you one question, though.
Yeah.
1986, you're sitting there, England playing Argentina, Maradona and the God.
Yeah.
How the hell, in this day and age, when you've got two eyes at work,
Can easily happen, Terry.
really?
Yeah, but there wasn't the cameras that wasn't there.
No
was there?
cameras, no VAR.
Nothing there, is it?
Like,
If the ball, I mean, if you're on the on the sideline as a linesman, you're looking across. It's very hard.
Oh.
I know you're going to laugh. But it's very hard to pick up a ball. Somebody handballing it. Yeah, they can go up with a hand, but doesn't mean to say they're going to touch it.
but I'm sitting in my house, 10,000 miles away from that game, and I'm watching that and I can see playing handball.
But I'll say one thing about that. People don't talk about the second goal he got when he went through the whole of the England team.
Phenomenal.
But it should have been a free kick in the build-up to that. If the ref done his job properly, watch that again. Watch the foul on it.
My last question on the referee side of things is obviously I watch mega football like we all do. That's what we're talking about it for. Decisions of a linesman. How do they get to the situation whereby, all right, the guy's offside, whether it's a foot or 2 foot, and he can go another 10 metres before the linesman.
Yeah, that's silly, because there's going to be an injury. Someone's going to break a leg doing that.
Puts his flag up.
Put your flag up straight
I
away.
cannot get to that
Well,
in a
local
month of
local
Sundays.
league, and I've always done it, and I would do it.
You know where I'm
again.
coming from, Tal?
Yeah.
Local league, and I will do it again on Saturday. If a player gets through and he's offside, in my mind, I might be wrong, but if he's offside, in my mind, I will put my flag up straight away because I do not want the goalkeeper or the centre forward getting injured.
No.
But now, because of all the money involved, the cameras in the Prem, the linesmen have been told, do not put your flag up. If a goal's scored, then we can, because don't forget, if he puts his flag up and it's not offside and they score, then there's no, you've got to go to the offside. If he leaves it, they can re-look at the goal, etc., etc.
Gotcha, okay.
I actually think, personally, it's harder to be a linesman than to be a referee.
Oh, you've got to have a computer in your head.
Because
a second.
And he's got to be mega quick, isn't he?
You can't blink, can you? You cannot blink.
No, you can't.
No. Well, in fact, you can't. I don't know how they do it in the top level with the noise in the stadiums, but actually, like on Saturday when I'm going to be running the line, I'm listening, I'm looking at the line and I'm listening for the ball to be kicked. Because if I look at when the ball's kicked and then look at the line, it's changed.
Instant.
So you've got to listen, how you listen for a ball.
And as the older we get, obviously, we lose that as well, don't we? Of course we do. It's normal.
I wouldn't know about that, mate. My faculties are still working, actually. But
I don't
the
think
stage as well, obviously, we've refed a few of the games I've played and whatever. Not to obviously the standard we've been talking about. How do you feel after the game? We give a penalty, like to our mate Dave.
What's going on again?
And he's took a dive. And after the game, Dave turns around and says, "Yeah, of course I dived." Does it make you think?
Of course, you're human. Everybody's human.
Yeah, of course.
You only give what you see.
Yeah, sure.
And the worst thing is, not disrespectful, but when a player who's had the penalty turns around and says, "Nah, I dived." I mean, that's not fair.
How do you respect him?
You just keep.
See, Dave, you hear this? He's lost respect for you, cheating bastard. Told you.
He's still going on about
that. No, he always go. He'll go on that until he flipping goes downstairs, won't you?
Tell you what, Dave. See, even the ref here says he's lost respect for you by taking a dive.
You can only give what you see,
There
and
you
it's
go.
a very, very hard job. And I I've got admiration for all referees and linesmen.
100%.
Until you've done it, you
100%.
don't realise how difficult it is.
My
and there's no game without them.
Admiration for me is every referee linesman. When I watch on TV, I think I would not want to be you. You know, if you do a Celtic Rangers game and the referee's there.
Yeah, that's,
you know,
that's amazing.
I know.
But
It doesn't matter.
One quick question for you as well.
Certainly, Terry.
When you ref and you're reffing a game, the referees say he's a horrible bugger him. Like you speak to each other, watch out for that number 4. He's a right horrible one.
You don't.
Do you have it in the back of your mind? You like giving him extra attention.
It's always going to be in the back of your mind because he's told you.
You try not to. You try not to. I mean, these players will come to the forefront in a game.
They will do in the end.
You don't have to talk to your mates.
But you know, like say for instance, you ref a game here, and then like a week later you're reffing here, and one of your mates has reffed that game. Don't you say beforehand like, listen, I'll ref there the other week, and I'll tell you what, they're horrible they are. I mean, especially at number 4, number 6, numbers, they're the one. Keep your eye on them.
Not really, Terry. Basically, what you do talk is about match incidents.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Okay. Which you feed off.
That could be right or could be wrong. What's your view?
If you get together, and it's very rare that actually referees get together.
Oh yeah, because you're in different parts of the country, aren't you?
We're all over the place.
I'm just curious because obviously, you've sent me off, Mike sent me off. You're friends with Mike, and I'm just seeing this thing going on here.
If I was a ref, I wouldn't even put you on, mate, the first time. I'm tell you. Well, listen, we're going to close these. Is there anybody that you want to say hello to? A big shout out. Come on.
Big shout out to my lovely wife, Doreen.
Yeah.
And
she is lovely, Liverpool supporter.
Yeah,
very nice.
Other than being a Liverpool supporter, she's lovely, and I'd like to thank her for all that she's had to put up with my refereeing. And she's coming over very soon, so great.
And I want to say a big kiss. Give my Molly, your dog, a big kiss from me because I love her.
He ain't done his job properly. Hold on, do it now. Look.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're right.
Did you bring your cards with you?
I have.
Oh, you forgot.
Actually,
I want the red card.
I was going to turn
There's
up.
me red card. Your red card inside.
I was going to turn up, but I got nothing with you. I was going to say to Terry, what's your favourite colour, Terry? It's red, isn't it? And I was going to whip it out. But I've got no cards with me.
No. Well, listen, all I'm going to say is what a great interview. We will definitely get him on again after Christmas sometime, and he can update us on the VR situations and so forth. Terry, thank you for staying on because we've had a long morning. And for Laurie, my friend,
Pleasure.
Thank you very
Thanks
much
for having us on.
No, you're more than welcome.
And lovely to see Terry again.
And I hope you've
You're looking
enjoyed.
quite young.
I hope you've enjoyed the insight of a local referee that's absolutely been superb. He loves his passion of refereeing, loves his football. Good luck to Burnley in the Premier League this year, as he says. And we will be back very, very soon. From Terry, Laurie, me, Webby, I'll speak to you very, very soon. But don't forget, if you like what you hear and you like what you see, subscribe to Webby Sports Roundup. It's all for free. Take care, and I'll speak to you very, very, very soon.